I feel good. I'm jumping in first.
She said, oh my God, it's a Christmas miracle. Woo! Rachel said, new hair, don't care. I'm opening this bitch today. I wish you guys could see us. One of these days we're going to get cool and we're going to have video to go along with our podcast. But if you guys could see what I'm looking at right now, you'd see a goddess, a Pisces brunette dreamboat flipping her hairs around. She just came from a fresh cut and she's feeling herself. She said, I'm starting this episode, bitch. Bless. You're
So
gorgeous.
many people just yell bless at me. I was like, oh, you're a listener.
Dude, I love it. And the reluctant pilgrim thing is legit. It's
catching on.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, really. Hi.
Here we are.
Welcome
we made it.
We did it, bud.
Woo, barely. We're wrapping up the year. And full moon.
It's a full moon.
When this airs, it's a full moon.
Yes, tonight is the last full moon of the year. It is our last Spill Your Guts episode of the year.
Yes.
Aww.
I got to get in as many sound effects just
I know.
for this
I'm going to
episode.
put you on probation soon, so you better use them wisely.
Dry your tears.
Listen,
We'll be back soon.
Yes, no, we're coming back. We have too much stuff going on not to share with you guys. We're on a momentum, and we're just hanging on for this ride right along with you guys. So thank you. If you're still with us after all these episodes, we love you. Dude, I feel like we had a big week last week. We shared our 2023 words of intention. Mm-hmm. You know, we're just wrapping it up now. We're wrapping up the 2022. It's the season finale.
It is. And you know what? As a result, classic us. We put things out in the world and then we spiral and then everything's okay.
I'm so glad you said that because, dude, we got pretty real on the past couple weeks. Mm-hmm. Sharing like how our reflection on the year and like the letter to that letter to our
letter fucked me up. I'm sorry, I'm swearing still after all these episodes.
Me
but like
too.
It's marked explicit.
I was twisted up and I didn't really know it until I confessed to you.
Same. No, it's true. Listen, I'm so glad we had at least one more episode planned because I feel like the past two were so heavy. Mm-hmm. And I love us for sort of pushing each other to show up even though it was heavy and kind of push through the discomfort and like talk about it and be real about it because I think that's what's going on with like all of our friends who are listening too. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy we had one more episode because I was just telling her right before we started, like, I feel so good this week. I'm finally feeling like festive, ready for the holidays, like hopeful, joyful, a little lighter. Like I really feel like we kind of force each other to like really face and work through some hard stuff. And God, the clarity and everything is worth it. And isn't that the like work? Isn't that what all this is?
It's the best. It's the best feeling. And to like you and I even like, hey, if we're committed to this, like we only want people in our lives that we really give a shit about. We only want to work on things that like bring us energy. Mm-hmm. And you and I kind of like had some heart to hearts and it was kind of like calling each other out like, hey, if we're not a safe space, like you and me, like we got problems. Like what have we been doing this whole time? So we were spilling our guts.
Yes. Yes. News alert. What do you call it?
Breaking news.
We might have to pause here.
Nope.
What's the word I want? Newsflash. We worked through it. It was news break. Newsflash. It all ended up great. I just feel like I think that, okay, so a couple weeks ago we talked about like the difference between being like people seeing us as intense, which is actually really truly intimacy. Like we talked about that. And I think that sometimes I get a little gun shy because I get so intense and passionate with how I feel. And when I like blurt that out to people, I'm so used to that being like creating conflict. Right. Yes. And I have such a fear that will like push that person away. And so when we were like really spilling our guts on this podcast and off the podcast, I felt like, oh no, there it goes. I scared her away. That's it. Throw in the towel. And same with you. And it was just not that way, you know?
Yep. And I just like, it's so refreshing to me that I feel like people I have around me right now, I can like really show up as intense or intimate as I am. But I also like have expressed to people that I'm working on that or like working on owning it. And they really reassure me that you're not too much.
Yeah.
Like if you were, I wouldn't be here.
Absolutely.
Or like if you were, you would sense. So like they're actually encouraging me to like really do that and holding me accountable. And I'm like, shit.
Yes.
I'm screwed. I have all these people around me, all these coaches holding me accountable.
Hey, it's like, do we mean what we say? Yes, we do. And we can't be leading on a podcast called Spill Your Guts and not be like putting our ass to the fire to do it. So I want to just publicly thank you, Rachel Dunn, because you're a fucking real one. I'm lifting my Celsius to you. Celsius.
Cheers.
We're still waiting for that. We're still waiting for that endorsement.
Happy New Year.
And then we got to share our words of intention last week.
Yes.
I'm so excited. I feel like I've already begun the psychotic, like asking around of everybody in my life if they've been thinking about it. And I got to say, I'm already starting to feel the energy of my words starting to pop up because I've had already, and I feel like, right, like we were just saying, once you work through like the kind of dark, heavy energies when you're feeling stuff, instead of numbing and avoiding and sort of bypassing hard times and feelings when they're happening, when you're just kind of forced to sit with them and sort through them and, you know, have hard conversations with people you love and do all the hard things that we talk about, it's like always on the other side. It's like clarity, breakthrough, amazingness. And I'm like, wow, it always ends up this way every single time. Yep. Like, so my word faith is going to be practicing remembering that before I have evidence of it. Because the evidence always comes.
Yes.
It never fails. That the hard thing or the scary thing or the thing that seemed really painful or the thing that made me upset or angry, there's always a reason, there's always a purpose, there's always something, you know?
I liked speaking it out loud because I'm always like, if magnet's my word, and I try not to go too coachy, right? Like I don't want it to be this New Year's resolution situation that we should also
Oh my God, let's talk about that, yes.
But I felt like as soon as I said it, spoke it, into existence, I got excited and wanted to start acting on it.
Yes.
Like I wanted to be like, okay, I'm doing this now. Like I committed, I said it out loud and I'm in it. So I already started. Like that's where.
Yes. Like I feel like I've already moved into that energy and we've already been talking about how, oh my gosh, 2023, let's go. I feel it. Jesse, as a first-time word of intention participant, do you feel like your word is like aligning up for you and starting to create a path?
What's super funny about this topic, as I went over our last episode, because of what you were saying, I already want to change my word of the year. So at least I got a couple weeks.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. There's no rules.
Yeah. Well, your guys' conversation inspired almost a new word for me just by listening to it twice.
Oh my goodness.
But now I'm going to apply both. Okay. That's how I'm going to work on it. But
well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about, okay, because there can be some pressure around New Year's, especially we know being in like the fitness world, right? New year, new me, blah, and everybody has like opinions and there's like whole culture around like, you know, oh, the new gym people in January, blah, 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 which I used to hate, PS, as a former club manager.
Yeah.
I used to really, really hate that because who cares?
Right.
Like if people are excited and it takes a new year to get them excited, who cares? But also the real new year, and this could be different in other places, but in my experience, the real new year and influx of people being like, new year, new me, I'm ready, doesn't even happen till March.
That is
that true everywhere?
That is statistically accurate. I was actually just putting together some data about New Year's resolutions because the place that I work at, we actively did not want to use that as our message this year. And I was like, yes, finally. Like, let's get real, you know?
Yes. Well, because, you know, the truth is people aren't going to be starting shit till after Super Bowl. That's the real.
Yeah. Well, and so it's something like 40% of adults, like 18 plus, make New Year's resolutions every year. When it comes to like, especially fitness, we talk about wellness and health, but I'm talking about fitness specifically.
Right.
And then it's something like 20 to 25% have already quit in the first week. And then another like 35. Yes. In the first week. And like another 35% don't even make it past the first month. And that's from American College of Sports Medicine, like their founder. They've done the research. So it's like, what are we doing?
Well, and it's tough because I can understand why, you know, because it's like, you know, like we're getting excited about like energetically wrapping up 2022 and like setting new intentions for, you know, the upcoming year. So I get why people think that it's like a clean slate, but there's so much pressure.
Yes.
There's so much pressure. So what do you say as a coach when people want to get real excited about New Year's resolutions versus like setting intentions? What do you say is the difference?
I say that resolutions tend to create this chase or lack coming from a place of lacking culture.
Okay.
So in general, when I coach people, every day is a new year. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. Like, there's
gosh.
There's never one day you miss a workout or like got more flexible on your food, which is a whole nother topic because that also implies that there's a good and a bad. Sure. And there isn't. Like, it's just you working on yourself. And you can pick that up. You can set goals big and small anytime that you want. And also, guess what? You don't even have to set goals. Fuck that. Like, you really can just move forward, do what feels good. We know there are some like biological things that we have to do. Like strength training is great. Getting some sleep, drinking some water, eat some damn protein. But there's no like... I think of it like mental health. There's no end date on fitness. Like you're going to do it forever. Yeah. So like that's the intention. Like we have to do it forever.
Yeah. You kind of have to like make peace with that it's just like the way you live. And then like, you know, when you find yourself like I have no problem sharing this from like total first person perspective right now. Like I am aware that I am off the wagon currently as we sit here. And I feel no pressure to like get back on a wagon and hurry up and try to be somebody. And by the time 2023 starts, but I am aware that at any point I can begin again and again and again as many times as it takes. Amen. You know, because that's what I've made peace with. But it's taken me a long time to like understand that that's my relationship with fitness. Right. And it makes it.
And that word peace is really interesting too, because we talk about this a lot. Like your wellness, in my opinion, this is my saying, like it should feel calm and it should be coming from a place of peace, not like battling and hustling and trying to be somebody because you already are somebody. I know it took us a whole year to get to that.
Amen, sister. We're putting everything on a shirt.
We got there. So like be gentle, like be sweet with yourself. Like you don't have to do this all or nothing you already are enough. You already are somebody. So like I always think about like maybe instead of goals, like how do you want to feel? Like for me, that's like I want my energy to be high and I want to feel strong. And so I do things that align with the feelings that work better for me.
It's like, yes, because, and I love how you said that like the other way, like creates an energy of lack or, it's like negative because then you're just like constantly sort of like fighting yourself or in like a shame spiral about like what you didn't do instead of like putting a reframe on it. Like you're doing something good. Yes. It's not that I'm depriving myself of XYZ. It's that I want to feel energized and I know that over there might make me feel like crap. So right now I'm going to skip it because I feel empowered to do that. And if I want it later, I can have it. But doesn't that just feel better than being like, no pizza?
That's it.
Words matter. Okay.
It's true. It's true because we talk about this like I don't ever want people to feel like they're in deprivation. Like take some inventory. What can you add? Like it's habit stacking 101. So like what can you
explain to everybody what habit stacking is. That's an RDP like core value. I feel like tell them what habit stacking is.
Habit stacking is just a habit they already have, drinking coffee, brushing your teeth, whatever it might be, and then adding a little like sunshine to it. So like while my coffee is brewing, I work on my breath work. Or while I'm brushing my teeth, I meditate. So it's like it's very doable and we have everything we do is a habit. Like there's literally you can attach so many things to your routine throughout the day. Like when you are driving to work, listen to a podcast that educates you or gets you excited or whatever it might be. But I think the fitness industry has ruined New Year's resolutions. Like it became a marketing tactic where we do try to convince you that you are not enough and you need to lose those 30 pounds when really the focus is like overall health, which includes everything, mental health, financial health, sexual health, like all the things. So you could pick and choose whatever you want. You don't even have to start with going to a gym. You could probably start with like going to therapy. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you can choose or just like go for a walk. Like if that feels good, go do that.
Yeah. Feel whatever you can do to feel better.
Yeah.
That's the energy. And that feels like you're adding to your life instead of taking things away, you know?
Yes. We already don't have like we're already trying to just get by. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Like
I saw a TikTok the other day. I mean, God. You know, I saw a very informative documentary. Just kidding. It was TikTok, but I saw this TikTok and this girl said, gosh dang it, I wish I would have saved it because it's hilarious. I almost sent it to you. But I have I have to put myself on like a freeze because I send her too many and, you know, I'm not trying to scare her away, guys. But this girl was like, literally the world is burning. Why are we still talking about keto? And that was the TikTok. And I was just like, yes. I mean, no shade to people who love keto or whatever, but it's just so funny that with like the intensity of everything happening, there would still be a corner of the world that's like putting pressure on physical aesthetics still. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh man. That ain't
weight
it.
Loss tea is still out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like
people are dying, Kim. I mean,
we don't have time for waist trainers. We have shit to do.
I mean, I fuck around with a waist trainer. No shade. But like, is it my life goal? No. You know, maybe that's a freedom we are experiencing now that we're in our 40s. Maybe there's just a level of no F's to give once you reach a certain point and you start to accept your body as is, and you switch from how do I show up in this thing and how does it look to how do I feel living in this vessel as I journey through. There's a journey from A to B there.
Yeah, our meat sack.
Meat sack. Your meat sack looks dressed up with all that new hair, girl. You're looking good.
We're just souls stuck in meat sacks, walking around thinking that we need to lose 30 pounds in order to be somebody.
I don't need to be anybody anymore because I listened to the Spill Your Guts podcast and they said I don't have to pursue it.
Everyone's quitting their jobs, not working out.
Yeah. They're like, what happened? We started listening to this weird podcast of these two girls.
I'm just saying, like, if a New Year's resolution sounds good to you and it feels energizing, go for it. But just know you can start every day forever. And if it's especially if it's a fitness goal, like, it's a lifelong commitment. So just take it easy.
Make peace.
Be sweet. Yeah. Be sweet to yourself.
And find a way to have fun, right? Like,
seriously.
Like, I'm like, listen. I know we shit on hustle culture all the time. But you know what I'm a big fan of? I'm a big fan of competition. That's what I'm a big fan of.
All right.
So
you guys don't even know. This bitch will eat your children if there's a competition. I've seen it.
Eat your children? I might.
She embodies Kali. Like, she's just out there chopping people's heads off.
I will kick your dumbbell over in the gym. I did it.
She has bullied children in the gym.
I think I wrestled an old lady at the gym at TPR. I get a little competitive. So I think there's a difference. I want to say publicly on the podcast that, even though you don't want to be somebody and there's no this like inherent need to like prove yourself in the world, like with your status and with your aesthetic body, but there is an opportunity to shit on people when you can in the appropriate arena of a competition. And that's what I get behind. And so I'm really excited because I'm going to set you up for this. I got invited to be a part of a very exciting challenge in January, which is going to set me up not for a New Year's resolution, but set me up for a very exciting something to get excited about again with my fitness. Yes. So can I have you share that in case anybody wants to join us? We're already making Jesse do it. So
yeah,
I am so excited for this.
It's going to be fun. Okay. So
tell us everything.
I've talked about this nonprofit that I work with, Until Death Collective. And every year we run a fundraiser for the Green Beret Foundation, specifically a area called Andy's Fund, which is helping funding. I'm actually about to say this out loud for the first time, and it's crazy, but it's not.
I'm so excited! Shout out Until Death.
It's crazy, but it's not. But like the funding that they do is to help prevent suicide, specifically in the veteran community, but the funding goes towards things that like the military doesn't cover, like red light therapy.
Wow.
Like cold plunge experiences. It's actually this other side of wellness that it funds that exposes people to something different where traditional medicine or traditional therapy might not be working. So I don't know why I never I put that together, how perfect this is, especially like for our little group, like you, me, Jesse, you're in the gang.
Squad's here.
But what we do is we use a little piece of technology called a MyZone, and it's a heart rate monitor. You can wear it on your chest, and there's also you're gonna actually love this, Mandy, because there's a wrist and like a forearm strap now too.
Ooh.
I hate where it just like gets sweaty and gross and whatever else.
I mean, it'll get lost in my titties, but I'm okay. I'm all right. I've seen this movie once or twice. If it gets me extra points, I don't care.
So you get live feedback through an app about your effort, how hard you're working, and you'll earn points depending on how hard you work. Which
see, this is why I love fitness. When we gamify, oh my gosh, it's over.
That's exactly what it does. Is it gamifies movement and not just like I get okay points when I lift, but like if I really want points, I hike, I paddleboard. It's more like being able to sustain a medium to high, potentially uncomfortable, depending on what kind of training you like. But like that's how you earn points.
Yeah, which is like kind of forcing you to train your endurance to be longer and more like steady state for like longer periods of time. Which is not something you're typically excited to do when you're just going into the gym. You know what I mean? I'm like, cool, I've been on here 10 minutes. That's good, right? See ya.
Exactly.
But if you're in a challenge, then you're just like, I must finish. And you have to growl every time you talk when you're wearing it. Okay.
There'll be a leaderboard so you can see where you rank. And the Until Death are right. I would consider still a startup. We just got kicked off in May, but our end goal is to really prove out how movement affects mental health. So our end goal is to partner with universities, do case studies, physicians, and really like use our community to show, and here's the data because we use MyZone, like this is where we started, this is where we are, this is how much better we're feeling. Like, so really prove that out to people because it's still, I just made a post about trauma in the body and it's still taboo. Like it's still not really accepted in the medical community. And we're saying that we feel it and we see it, like movement really can be a modality to healing. So like that's our end goal with Until Death.
So good. So tell me how does this work? If people want to join, how do they start? How do they raise money? Like how does this work for those of us who want to join?
You can go, it's super easy. You can go to untildeathcollective.com and then there's a Fight Back tab at the top. And you can just purchase your MyZone there, and we get them almost at cost too. So they're about, depending on what version you pick, but they're about $99. And the proceeds for all of the January sales go to the Green Berets Foundation.
Oh, how cool!
I know. And then my favorite part, of course, is around March-ish. We'll have like a wrap party, like a end challenge party for anyone who wants to come. And then I think we do like a top male and female finisher. I can't remember. We fully fund their trip to come out. And then the Green Beret Foundation comes out and we do like a live auction with donations. We have stuff for the kids. Last year we did at a brewery and had like food truck and beer. And it was just a good time to get everybody together. And plus like, you kind of like shit talk each other on the app. And so like to like finally meet in person, you're like, I know you, Dylan 457.
That's awesome. And anybody can join?
Anybody can join. You can also, if you want to just straight donate, you can just do that too.
Oh, that's dope.
But you might as well strap that thing on and compete. Me, Mandy, Jesse, my mom and dad are doing it.
Mikey's doing it. I got my husband. We're getting in on it.
Mikey.
I know, Mikey.
He's our hero.
I'm ready. I'm ready to shit on everybody, Jesse. You better watch out.
So it's a good time and it's a good group. I just I don't know why I just put together that it really is like putting in funding towards we still say alternative therapy or like alternative medicine. And I hate that because that implies that like there's a right way or like a Western versus Eastern versus whatever. but it really will provide a lot of support for people that like traditional methods aren't working.
I think that's so cool. When does this challenge kick off so people know how long they have to kind of join us and get excited about it?
It starts January 1st. It goes the 1st to the 31st. So that's why we're encouraging people to like get your MyZone now, register. The ad's super easy set up. You literally get it, register your number in the app, and then you're in the community. But it's always good. I feel like, especially with like new technology, like get it, put it on, try it out, mess around, and like kind of work out the kinks before the actual challenge starts, because you don't want to miss out.
Jordan, listen. See, this is what I love. This gets me more excited. This is way more exciting to me than a New Year's resolution. You know?
Yes.
I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, let's go. Let's
and
go.
you're
I'm
part
excited.
of the community like that. I was actually just on a call last week with MyZone, and they said that because you can connect with each other on the MyZone app too, which really can like friend and follow each other. And there was such an interesting stat that said that people are more likely to stay consistent with their movement when they're connected to 4 or more people.
Absolutely. Community, dude. We need each other. Absolutely. I'm so excited.
So that's really what it is.
Speaking of which, though, if people please go follow Until Death Collective on Instagram. You can do that right now, right when you're listening, so you don't forget, so you could at least support on the socials. But you guys have like featured athletes, right? Like, how does that work? When people go on the page, they get to see like ambassadors of the collective. Tell us who they are.
We just expanded in a really big way. That's why, like, one of the other reasons that I'm super excited for 2023 is I feel like we kind of had all these roles we needed help with. So there are a group of wellness experts. That's the team that I lead. And our intention, again, is to really like connect that mental health and movement. And also just educate. So free workouts, recipes, we write blogs. It's just a lot of free information we're sharing. And the team, I'm the only one who's not a veteran or active duty, which is always interesting for me, because I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, I never know. And they're like, oh, we love you.
Dude, I always know when I'm around military people when they like use military time.
Oh, I'm like, what?
And I'm like, wait, I don't know. I don't know the math on that. Like, what's 1400? Please tell me.
2:00.
Thank you. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I got to learn.
No, we can't even figure out time zones.
So there's other teams that like focus on different aspects.
Yeah. So that's the wellness team. And then we have athletes, we have ambassadors. So other people that are sharing, or any athlete also gets to choose a charity of their choice. So when the January challenge is over, or, you know, like even right now, any of the sales that we make, a percentage goes to the athlete, and then it goes to our charity of choice.
Oh, so, that's cool.
And everyone has their own charity too.
What is yours? What is your charity of choice? RDP?
Mine is War Party Movement. So that is the rodeo, the ranch rodeo that I went to this summer outside of Denver, which is such a good time. But it is empowering and helping women get out of difficult situations and go through this very extensive, challenging course and learn how to ranch, and then work on job placement after, so they can have some financial stability, so they can regroup, so they can just pause for a second and move forward in a better capacity in their life. They just did this crazy hunt out in the wilderness, in the snow. I was like, I don't know.
What? Okay.
I don't know if I could do that.
What's their social handle so people can go follow them too?
So theirs is War Party Movement, and then they have War Party Ranch. I can't remember. I think War Party Movement is the actual, like, the charity side of it.
How freaking cool. So it's not just about the Until Death. It's like giving, like, that platform is giving spotlights to all these other organizations that are out there doing big work and big things out there too.
Yeah, and even Jeremiah, who's the founder of War Party, is a former Green Beret. Ugh. Worked in some contracting stuff, and he got into it because he did some contracting work where he was helping women and kids get out of difficult spots internationally, and was like, I need to help women. Like, I don't know how else to put that. So he came back and started this nonprofit.
Oh my gosh. See, this all feels like something worth getting my butt on a friggin' spin bike for.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm excited.
There's prizes. There's going to be raffles. You can bid on auction items. We have some great partners that were just like over the top giving. And I think the wrap party is going to be in Texas, but we don't know yet.
Cool. Well, count me in. I'm ready to shit on you, Jesse. I'm only going after you because I know you're just as competitive.
Can I comment on this real quick?
Please do. Oh my God.
Like, I'm competitive, right?
I know, that's why I'm little sistering you. That's what I'm doing.
So here's one of the things that specifically with physical fitness, I carry a chip on my shoulder.
Oh.
And this chip is all those people that buy Pelotons, I feel like I can work harder than and beat.
Huh.
Just FYI.
Okay.
All right, I'm out.
All right.
Shots fired.
I have it on good authority that Santa might be bringing me a Peloton. So I'm about to get this ass in shape, and so this is on a recorded line.
I didn't mean to give it up.
I just want you to.
Do I need to delete this section out?
No, we're not deleting this because at the end of January I'm gonna have this as a soundbite.
Yeah, full disclosure, it has nothing to do with you. I've always just had a beef with Peloton people. That's all. I'm out again.
Fine. It's fine. Well, good news for you. I'm not just going to be a Peloton person. I'm also I'm a hot yoga gal. I love that.
Mm-hmm. The reason I work with you is your versatility, Mandy.
Thank you. See, I don't know. I was going to say multi-dimensional being.
Well versed.
Dude, I'm pumped. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I know how much the Until Death collective community means to you. And I know that we've kind of tried to think of ways to have them on, which we might next season, because guess what? There will be a season 2 of Spill Your Guts.
Yay!
So we hope that you guys will, not get bored with us and come back, because there's so many people we love and cool things going on out in the world. And we want everybody to spill their guts as we continue to, what did you call us on Instagram the other day? Us two beautiful idiots. Hanging off a spiritual cliff as we're discovering our multidimensional beings selves publicly, and then having crazy remorse afterwards. Sometimes I go home and I'm like, what did I say on the internet?
Every time.
Well, I'm excited. That gets me excited for starting my new year off with a bang without having the pressure and freaking stress of a resolution. I got my word. I got my challenge. I got my zone on the way. What else? What else is there but to eat, drink, and be merry, bud?
Hey, you know what? This is 40 was a good year. It was good to us. That's why I want to be like, look at us.
Would you just look at us?
Well, as we say our little farewells to
We've
2022.
only just begun.
I feel like I want to end with with our little brief spiral that we came right out of. I feel like we've shortened the time that we freak out and then recover, and that's progress to me.
Girl. Hey, look, if that ain't the truth of how this whole spiritual process works, right? It's just like working out, right? When you put in the reps, It gets easier and easier each time. And then pretty soon you're like, oh, I like this thing. And you're not loathing it every time. It's the same with the spiritual work, right? The hard conversations and the spiraling and the feeling despair and existential crisis gets a little less.
Yeah. And every day. And what's so interesting to me is this podcast, like I wouldn't have worked through the things that I did without it. And
Same.
So we had like a fun little time, but it was also very much part of our healing that I did not expect. I was like, we're just going to get on there and run our mouths on the internet.
I agree with you, dude. You're so right. It's been a real surprise because it's forcing us to just really show up kind of naked. And
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And when we were kind of, maybe just to wrap this up, when we were just spiraling this week, as we do, Mikey swooped in and shared something with you, which you shared with me, which I'm glad you do, because I feel like I've never met Mikey, but he like looks out for me somehow.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, I've always felt that, but I was like,
yeah.
maybe you're about to be so wrong, maybe.
Isn't that weird that you guys have not met in actual real life?
No, it's so weird. I feel like I know him, though.
You totally do. I mean, you guys have seen each other on hella FaceTimes, but not ever in real life. I feel like it'll be totally natural when you see him. Just be like, oh, Mikey.
Well, he reminded us, and so we're going to remind our listeners, too, that like as we move forward into this new year, that we make sure that our decisions, our energy, and our focus are not taking us away from the things that are most important to us, that do bring us energy, that we do love, our close circle. Like you and I joke all the time, like we got no friends. We got no friends left because we've really tightened down our circle and decided like, this is who I want to spend time with. This is what I want to do with my time, because we only I don't even know how many years we got left. We were halfway probably.
Hey, this all ends.
So we gotta make it count.
Yes, he did. I shared with you that his advice to me was, he said, when considering things, make sure that it's not just me being in a room somewhere, but that I have a seat at the table.
Yep,
is what he said. And
move, Mikey.
I know, and I was like, oh, what?
Get over here.
I know, like Dreamweaver. And actually, as a sidebar, because this is what I'm going to say, my personal Dreamweaver song is not Dreamweaver. It would be Robert Palmer, Addicted to Love.
You know what? We got to share your playlist too.
Do you love my playlist? My 2022?
I've been listening to it.
Really?
Yes. I want to make one too.
Compliment. Thank you. I'd love to share it. Spotify first, because we love Spotify on this podcast.
Looking for sponsors in 2023.
Yeah. Hey, if you love Spill Your Guts and you want to sponsor us, slide into the DMs. Jesse's waiting. And with that, Rachel Dawn Prairie, I say thank the universe for you, my lady. Thank you for agreeing to do this crazy ass thing with me and really holding me to the fire several times this year and being the best goddamn podcast partner that ever existed. I love you. Thank you for doing this with me.
I love you. Right back at you, Mandy Lee.
Mandy Lee.